Welcome back here once again, everybody, here for another video. Now, entertainment in itself in this age has changed so dramatically. From just a few years ago to now, there are certain things that some years ago when released would have been very funny, you would have enjoyed it, people would have done certain movies that they would have put out years ago, they won't put out now because of all this nonsense about who have to do this and Rachel that and woke this and all of that. And while I have no problem with certain things not being certain ways, entertainment is entertainment, and we should offer the chance to do things, because I have watched some shows, like we'll have some comedies and stuff. I think there was this one comedy where it was the Wayne brothers was in it, and was doing this skit about slaves coming on a slave ship and they will laugh. I mean, it was done funny. And as a black man myself, I could say I watched it and I laugh, but I never stopped and thought, well, this is offensive and that is that, and you shouldn't put that out there and all that. But that is what you get nowadays. A bunch of wackos on Twitter just come out of nowhere and start to throw shade on everything, regardless of what it is. Pretty much anything that comes out now is subject to this. So when I saw this, it makes me wonder just how far this will probably go, and if it does happen, would it probably be some watered down crappy version? Because here it is from the Hollywood Reporter. Duke Nukem movie in the works from Cobra Kai director's legendary exclusive. Now, I have never seen Cobra Kai. I've heard people say it's really good, it don't have a set of nonsense that you don't want to, it's actually really done really well. Okay, maybe that's never really interests me so much, so I never really watch it. But I do know Duke Nukem. Back in the day when Duke Nukem was a video game stuff, I played it once or twice. It had Duke Nukem was like the video game you didn't want your parents to see you play. Duke Nukem had a foul mouth, he went to strip clubs, he did all sort of things while fighting off aliens and stuff. It was fun. I mean, I'll say I played once or twice. I have a friend of mine who played Duke Nukem all the time. He loved it so much, he was just to be saying some of Duke Nukem catchphrases and stuff. But Duke Nukem was the embodiment of a pretty much foul-mouthed character, or than the other. His very behavior and thing made him interesting and made the game playing even more interesting. So it comes back to my point of movies then to now. If you try to make this now, how would that go over? I really want you all to tell me that in the comments what you think, how this would really go over. But let's go into the article and see what we have. Duke Nukem, the 1990s video game that helped popularize the first-person shooter genre, is getting the feature film treatment. Legendary Entertainment, the company behind Dune and the Godzilla movie series, has picked up the movie rights from Gearbox, with Cobra Kai creators Josh Harrell, John Hurwitz, and Hayden Schlossberg on board to produce. Legendary will also produce as well, with John Juliet Baronet, Assassin's Creed of Mala Studios, which specializes in video game adaptations. Harrell, Hurwitz, and Schlossberg are producing via their banner Counterbalance Entertainment. Launched with a self-titled debut in 1991 from Apogee Software, later called 3D Realms, Nukem is a 1 billion video game franchise that began life as a platform game for personal computers. Yeah, it made a lot of money because, I say, it was fun, but also the way Duke Nukem was portrayed. the foul-moutedness of his personality and stuff anyway. It was like being able to play as an action hero you always wanted to when you seen all these badass action movies and things. So it helped. It helped. And that what really pushed the popularity of the game. When the third game, Duke Nukem 3D, came out in 1996, it became not only a critical hit, but one that helped usher in the ubiquity of first-person games for years to come. After lying low for years in stalled development, the franchise came back in 2011 after Gearbox acquired 3D Realms with Duke Nukem Forever. Nukem centers on its titular anti-hero modeled on certain attributes from 1980s action movie protagonists, including catchphrases, who fights an alien invasion in Los Angeles. He travels from strip clubs and movie sets to moon bases and spaceships, dealing with mutated LAPD officers, women used in alien incubators, and the Cycloid Emperor. A search for a writer to tackle the material is underway, and while no director is on board, the door is open for one of the counterbalance team to potentially sit behind the camera. With its over-the-top action movie stylings, it's no surprise that Hollywood has been trying to adapt the game into a feature for quite a while. Various indie producers have attempted to develop Nukem, though none got very far. There was even one one in development with Paramount with John Cena attached to star over 4 years ago, but that stalled out. That led Gearbox to become more deliberate in its Hollywood strategy for adaptations of its video game. And it now has one already on deck, Borderlands, directed by Eli Roth and featuring an all-star cast including Cate Blanchett and Kevin Hart. The Counterbalance trio made a name for themselves in the franchise comedy sphere. Harold Penn Hot Tub Time Machine franchise, and okay, all these others and stuff. Now, let me say, it's only a matter of time until the Hollywood craze with superhero movies dies down, fizzles out, whatever you want to call it. It's only a matter of time, and then they're going to move on to the next big thing. I have said for a while, I think it may be video games, because that's a popular stuff. I was talking about Borderlands and all these sort of things to do. The problem, however, will be adapting these things correctly. Because when it comes to Duke Nukem, in this sphere of Hollywood, this sphere of entertainment, we know it's not going to be, okay, let's do this the correct way and be done with it. Because there are certain things in Duke Nukem video game, certain things that he says, certain things that are shown, certain things that are done, that if you do that today, in the current entertainment sphere today, they will roast you and want to carry on and make a set of problems with it. But again, if you're going to do something, do it correctly. If you can't do it correctly, then it makes no sense doing it at all. What I figure might be more, what I figure they may end up doing if they decide to really make this movie, is they may have Duke Nukem in it, whoever decides to put as Duke Nukem. And I hope to God they get somebody who actually looks like Duke Nukem, and they just put somebody and get them a wig or something and figure, that should be good enough. No, get somebody who actually looks like Duke Nukem, who could pass as it, and work with that. I think they may very well end up doing, and I hope they don't go down a different route. But alright, I'm gonna go stick with it. What I think they may end up doing is saying to themselves, well, let's put in some woman sidekick or something. Probably give her the typical butch haircut, half her head shaven, the other half hang down there, you know, business on one side, party on the other, and have her constantly be nagging Duke Nukem all the time about the way he's talking and the way he's acting and the way he's this and the way he's that, and then you end up seeing Duke Nukem having some big, he came to understand his actions were wrong and all that, and that would pretty much ruin it, because that is not what Duke Nukem is about. He's a foul-mouthed anti-hero, killing aliens, doing some stuff, talking dirty, doing some really enjoyable but twisted shit. That's what made the video game popular. Stick to that. But in today's entertainment sphere, where everything is about inclusion, diversity, all these other cities and all these other this and all this other stuff and whatever and the other, which they had for many years in all forms of entertainment, but everybody now would make you want to believe that for some reason it never existed before this time, and they are now fighting for it or something. If you're going to do something, do it properly. So while I would say I'm interested in this Duke Nukem thing, I'm not holding out a lot of hope. I think they may very well end up screwing it up in some way, some form or another, because this is the modern entertainment age, and it's about appeasing the lunatics on Twitter rather than the people who will be interested in anything. So let me know in the comments what you think, whether you believe that this Duke Nukem movie, they may actually stay true to what it's about, or if they may decide to really screw it up. I just hope to God they don't go somewhere and, go down the road and talking some nonsense about putting into the movie some sort of some alien do some kind of thing and make some transgender Duke Nukem. I just don't want to see that. Let's just stick to the movie. That's all I'm saying. Just stick to what the video game is. But I'm not holding on to a lot of hope for it. It's still early, yet they haven't doubled down on anything. But let me know in the comments what you think, whether you believe it's possible that they may, miraculously decide to stick to what the video game was about, or if they're probably going and decide to mess with it in some god-awful way. Let me know what you think may happen. I'm really interested to hear about it. Let me know. Well, that's it for me with this update. If you like the video, be sure to hit that thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. Ring the notification bell. Be notified every time I put out a new video. And I shall see you all next time. Take care.